What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Asaratha.
It turns out when the two hosts are both fully grown men, it can be hard to find time to record sometimes.
Bro, life has been crazy. Yeah, we're behind. I'm sure people are asking why we're behind on the Discord. I'm not gonna lie, unless I get tagged directly, I don't look at any channel other than the main one. So whatever conversation happens in the individual
I
manga rooms, I don't look at.
I don't
Um,
think they've been asking. I think they just expected at this point.
oh yeah, well I mean we're nothing if not consistent uh,
Yeah.
with inconsistency. Yeah, no, I've barely had a time to breathe for like the past couple weeks. Final Fantasy coming out, then a bunch of life stuff happening right afterwards. I have not been paying much attention to manga except for Kagurabachi. I'm always paying attention to Kagurabachi.
What about My Goat Academia, dude? Be serious. Come on.
Anyway, so here's the plan for today's episode because we got some catch up to do because we're I guess a couple weeks back by now. We're going to talk about the three suspects that everyone cares about. Talk about JJK, talk about My Hero, talk about Kagurabachi, and then we'll sum the rest up in an expanded lightning round segment.
Yeah.
So let's see who does the magical wheel of Shonen Jump decide is going to get talked about first. It's going to be My Hero Academia.
Dude, what a great series.
What a real banger, real
So,
real graphs.
unfortunately, because of our busy schedules for the past while, we didn't get to talk about the fact that it had 5 chapters left, and as of recording, it has 3
Yeah,
left.
it's um he did specify 5 chapters, not 5 weeks, right? Because he's taking a break, or he took a break last week
Yes,
or
he
something.
took a break. It ends August 4th. They said August 5th, but they're in Japan, so I'm pretty sure it ends August 4th for us.
Huh. So does this week mean one less chapter that we would have gotten if it's a date time frame instead of a release time frame?
No, I'm imagining they picked that deadline because they
With the
picked that
break
deadline. Said,
already
yeah,
factored
yeah. I
in?
think
Yeah.
I think they knew that he was gonna take a break, so they're like, yeah, here you go, here's one.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense.
Because I'm imagining they set a Shonen Jump probably set a timeline, and they were like, don't fuck this up.
Yeah, don't fuck this up for us.
So August 4th,
Uh,
man, that'll be
Man, never have to read discourse on this again.
it.
Um,
Which lines
so
up because the next time we record, that'll be it. MHA will be over
that's true. It will be. It'll be
because
ceased.
leaks come out tomorrow.
It will have ceased and desisted.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's crazy to think about, man. That MHA will
yeah.
be fucking over.
As much as we dunk on it, it is gonna be weird to have like one of the big pillar series just gone all of a
Yeah,
sudden. You know?
it's it's been here for so long. Like, it's run for 10 years now. It's
Yeah, it's
ending
a
basically
decade.
shortly after its 10-year anniversary.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild to think about. I mean,
There's
this is
something just so
again, as much
strange.
as it's easy to meme on the series and stuff. It's absolutely the equivalent to something like Naruto ending back
Yeah.
when it did in the day. I mean, it's absolutely the same level.
I mean, obviously despite all my qualms with Act 3, MHA still played a big part in everything that I do now. So it's gonna be really strange to not have to talk about it on the podcast. Views are gonna go down 100%.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I know most people come here for us dunking on this, or
Yeah.
to get mad at us dunking on this.
And then
Uh,
JJK will end like 2 weeks later.
yep, yep. And then we'll have the Kagurabachi shooters, and that's it. Um, yeah, JJK is also in its final arc. It's probably going to end. It's got to end pretty
Oh,
soon.
we can talk about that too, but that has been officially confirmed
It
now
has
as
been
well for the
officially
exhibition.
confirmed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could talk about all the exhibition stuff, dude. Holy shit.
Oh my God, we got content, material.
Wait, I wonder if I can find. Okay, I'll look for the list of all the exhibition stuff later. But
Okay.
MHA has got 3 left, so we're getting a 7-chapter epilogue, which is because Hori was like, I don't want to half-ass the epilogue, and I guess technically by Shonen Jump standards, he has not, because Shonen Jump has like 1-chapter epilogues for
That's
everything.
true. Yeah, Shonen Jump is like you get 25 pages.
Yeah, but I'm not all that thrilled by what we have. I don't think.
No, I don't super love it. I am glad that Deku gets to have thoughts in this most recent chapter. He like has opinions on stuff, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
Just a
mean,
little bit.
more than he has had since probably Villain Hunt.
I don't remember
So
what was
that's
the.
good.
I think we last talked about 425. So what we haven't talked about is the Toto fame conclusion and Spinner stuff.
Yes. The Totofam conclusion is objectively hilarious because the man who was a skeleton, just a charred skeleton, still alive.
They got him
Uh,
in the thingy majig,
they
dude.
got him in the thingamabob, yeah, that Goku was in on Namek, and he's coming
it's
back.
it's really ambiguous because it says he is on a slow march towards death, and it's like, I mean, yeah. Can you
Yeah,
be a
I
little? Can
assume
you
they mean that
elaborate?
he doesn't have much time left. Um, but man,
Are we?
how
Are
is
we
he?
truly?
How did they get him in the back to tank or whatever the fuck that is? But Uraraka was on death's door from a knife
Are
wound,
we?
bro. It's
Are we
crazy.
truly? Are we truly heading towards the funniest timeline that we discussed, where everyone is dead except for
Everyone
Davi?
died except Davi. Yeah, I
Is
mean
that
that
really
seems to
happening?
be what happened. Davi, they're saying Davi is going to die. Um,
Yeah, but like everyone is, dude. It's not that serious,
yeah,
bro. He'll
well,
be
that's
fine.
true. Yeah, we might not even get a confirmation that he did. It might just be like he will eventually.
That's so cringe. Like, I'm just do something.
Yeah, I
Nothing
do
ever
like
happens in the
that.
manga, bro.
What's his name? Natsu? Is that the dude's name?
Yeah,
Natsuo?
Natsuo.
That he told Endeavor to go
Yeah.
fuck himself. I like
I
that.
I I think that's my favorite part of the chapter. I really like that he's like firm in it. So he's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
fuck
because
you.
it would have been really easy right there to
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
like we saw what you tried to do for him and
yeah.
let's try again. I like that he was like go fuck yourself still.
Yeah.
Don't talk
I
to me.
I really like that.
Yeah, I
The
thought
what I
that was
really
pretty
don't like
great.
about this conclusion is that this conclusion feels like a setup for a conclusion, but it
A
doesn't
little
feel
bit,
like an
a
actual
little bit.
conclusion.
Yeah.
It because the only person that really gets to talk to Dobby is fucking Endeavor again, dude.
Yeah, which it
Everyone
does it
else is like,
feel
oh,
like
I
it's
want to
kind of
talk to.
making Endeavor's story like a or about making Dobby's story about Endeavor.
Yeah, everyone else like Fuyumi and Ray are like, oh, there's so much I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it because the manga's over. Like, come on, dude, really?
Yeah, it feels like they're looking at Dobby and his story, and
Yeah,
now instead of it being about like what Endeavor did to him, it's now about Endeavor like seeing the consequences of his actions instead of Dobby getting to be a
and
character that has these issues. I don't know.
what really displays my issues with the plotline that really propped up is that like the whole theme of passing the torch and stuff, right? It got kind of usurped by Endeavor taking so much focus in Act Two. It could have been fixed. Like you could just go back to Shoto, and the stuff Shoto got in Act Three was good, but like this chapter is it exemplifies that because the entire chapter is Endeavor like whining and fucking crying, and then the very end is Shoto like, "What's your favorite food?" And then he leaves. It's over.
Yeah, I mean it was weird because like that was cute, but
Yeah,
ultimately feels like it served almost no purpose, like other than to have that cute moment.
like I don't hate this, but like the whole family, like Hori having like 15-page chapters, this was never gonna work, dude.
Yeah, no, I also really hate. This is probably more of a fandom complaint than the actual content, but
Yeah,
I
probably.
really fucking hate that Hawks is just like the president now,
Oh yeah, that's
and
weird, dude.
and
He's a
he's
killer,
like
dog.
Nagant, why don't you want a job? And it's like they're both mass murderers, and you don't see anyone in the fandom being like they have to die. They
No,
kill people.
no one says anything about Nagant, even though probably has killed more people than Toga,
Oh,
like
easily has
100%.
killed more people than Toga. And it's I like the cope responses. They were like, actually, it's not murder because it was government mandated.
That shit was insane. It's not murder because like the
It's
government said it was cool, bro.
the government said it's okay, bro, so it's chill. It's fucking
My Hero
insane.
Academia, like, dude, MHA peak liberalism, dude. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess that could be worse, but what Nagant says in this chapter, by the way, that day Izuku Midoriya demonstrated something to the world. What? What did he do?
Yeah, I don't really know what he did.
he,
Uh, he
like,
punched
because
Shigaraki into dust, is what he did.
it's it's important. Like, even if you really do think the vestige stuff is good, which it's not, but anyway, the whole world didn't see that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
nobody saw that shit.
So all they saw was Deku's arms got splattered, and then they came back 35 milliseconds later, and then he ran up and was like, "You're lonely," and then punched him so hard he
Punched
turned
him
to
to
dust.
dust. Yeah.
It's like,
Like, and it's weird because I feel like the chapter kind of says that too, right? Because it shows all the interviews in the Spinner chapter with people who are like,
it's yeah.
Shigaraki's a douchebag and I hate him and I've
So yeah,
learned nothing.
the Spinner chapter is interesting because the interview stuff, like interlaced with Spinner going like, "Oh, he was a person, and like, I had a relationship with this guy. He had his own hobby." I really like that, but it feels like really tonally dissonant
It,
from what
it
just happened.
yeah, the previous chapter and that just don't line up at all when Negan's like, "Oh, Deku made a stand," and it's like,
Yeah,
well, apparently not, because the average everyday person is like, "Hey, fuck
yeah,
that guy."
which and maybe that's intentional. And I'm willing to let Hori cook because I know now for a fact I don't have to wait 3 years. I have
Oh
to wait
yeah,
3 weeks. So
yeah,
like
okay,
I'll like let
that's
him
fair.
work, but it's strange. And there's a part of me that I really do like that because it's kind of a big fuck you to the fandom that's been defending Deku this entire time too.
Oh yeah, no, I like that Deku is just like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
denying that I'm a murderer. I killed that
yeah,
guy.
yep, I
I
killed him.
punched him into dust, which is good. I'm glad that he is talking about it because I thought there was a
Hmm.
real chance. I mean, he didn't talk about it that much, but he at least acknowledged when it was mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, because I thought there was a very real chance that they just wouldn't bring it up again. Like,
Hmm.
nobody would say anything to him, and he would just be like, "I'm at school," and that would be it. So I'm glad that Spinner was like, "Hey, go fuck yourself," and he was like, "Yeah, I
I
probably
just,
should."
dude, same issue as always. Deku just needs to be more of a character, especially in this.
Yeah, I do
I
like
do
the
like,
Spinner conversation though because
yes, Spinner hard
it's
carry, bro.
yeah, but it also feels like when Deku is talking to him, it's stuff he should have been saying like the whole time,
Yeah.
right? Like,
So the main thing I don't like about this, I think, is this is the same way Hori approaches Hawks and Deku the same way, where he was trying to sell us that these two have formed connections with their respective villains, right? And that they wanted to reach out to them and take them out of their situations. And but they both fucked up their attempts. With Hawks, I thought it was intentional, but apparently he's just like a good guy and he's the president now, so I don't know anymore.
yeah,
Um
he's the fucking
uh
president.
so like after trying nothing, they immediately they just give up and kill that person. But like what comes after that? And for Spinner, it's a lot. It's a lot of introspection and a lot of dialogue about what Shigaraki meant to him, which is cool. But like, what about the guy in the room who fucking punched him and killed him?
Yeah, the
And this
guy
is the
who murder punched him to death.
this
Yeah.
is the same thing that happened with Hawks, where he killed twice, and then he gets to spend the next like month in universe time like doing a media tour and waxing poetic about how good of a guy he was and how he understands that Toga's mad at him and stuff. But like he doesn't do anything about it ever. Like you remember in the final war when the Twice clones came out from the portal and Hawks was like, "Kill him right now," and then like a few chapters later, when Toga is like dissolving, he's like, "Twice really was a great guy, huh?" Like, all right, dude.
Yeah, well, it's like,
Like,
did you learn anything from the situation that you were in when you were like, we
and
have
it's
to
like,
murder
yeah.
her immediately?
And so when I hear Hawks or Deku talk about the person they murdered and like how they could have been cool or like their stories could have been told, I'm like, yeah, they could have been, but you took that opportunity from them, and now you're the one who gets to like to talk about it in their place, and it's kind of weird, man. Especially when you didn't try to do anything.
Yeah, it feels more egregious with Hawks. I'll say that because like I feel like he had a lot of opportunities to do something about it, and elected to never ever do anything.
Mhm.
So it definitely feels more egregious with him. But the thing uh, with Deku like going to see Spinner and stuff is that it feels really cool for Spinner, but then it just sort of like Deku just leaves and just walks out, and he's like, "Yep," and he just walks out.
That's what I mean. It's like Deku doesn't reflect on what he's done to these people, like what he did to Shigaraki, what he did to the League, what he did to Spinner. He just passes the message and then he gets the opportunity to be like, I won't ever forget Tomura Shigaraki, while like the blood is still dried on his hand.
Yeah, it's like you still, murdered him to
Yeah.
death with your fist. It feels like I don't know. Maybe this is a cop out for Hori or for my opinion of what Hori's doing, but it really just kind of feels like there's not enough time for him to make a satisfying conclusion to the content that he has presented, right? Like it
Yeah.
feels like he's presenting this thing where he wants Deku to be like, yeah, I killed that dude, and that sucks. And then we're like, yeah, bro, that does suck. And then he's like, okay, bye. And that's like the most
And
of it.
then
And I
it
know that you
immediately
can't like have a whole I mean, I guess you could. I kind of would have liked it if they did, but I guess he doesn't want to have the whole ending be like introspection on if he did the right thing and like if that's how
it
a
would be so
society should
gas.
be. Um, but that was always my favorite stuff in MHA.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, society's really fucked. Should it not be? Actually,
Yeah, you have Deku being like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll never forget that I killed that man that you were closely connected with," and then you turn the page a couple times, and then it's Todoroki and Bakugo being chased down the hall by girls.
yeah, okay. Well, he's never been good at like
It's really bad,
gags.
man.
It's really bad. He's never been good at that. I can't think of a single time that an MHA gag has hit, and I've been like, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
none of them. None of them.
none of them are good, and then the one that he did was absolutely like the most tone deaf fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Um, yeah, it was not good. But like all in all, the Spinner chapter was, in my opinion, the best one, probably by a
It's
pretty
the best of
considerable
the
margin.
epilogue. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
best. Yeah.
yeah, probably by a good bit. But I still just feel like I don't know. I wanted. I guess you could kind of argue that Deku's confronting it right here because he's talking to Spinner and like presenting his, you know, his feelings or whatever. But I
Mhm.
wanted Deku to just kind of sit down and be like, "Damn, I fucking did that stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what I think about all that stuff that I did that sucks a lot." And it never happens. And maybe that's on me for wanting something that's obviously not coming to pass.
MHA
But
MHA is the nothing ever happened series at this point.
yeah, I mean, it does kind of feel that way, right? Like events occur, but there's never like a fallout from them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just kind of disappointing. Like it feels so weird to me to build up this cast of characters. We're
Mhm.
really circling the same shit we always talk about on here, but it feels really weird to me to build up these circle of characters like the League. I mean, he made an entire section of the story about only them for so long that people got mad. They were like, "Where's the fucking hero cast?" Like people were getting upset that the fucking villain portion was so long. And then
Yeah.
their endings, he's just like, "All right, well, fuck them." Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I don't know. It's just
Don't
weird.
worry, viewers. There's only one more episode of the MHA talk.
Yeah, yeah. We'll be.
Just,
It's the same shit we always say. I know it is,
just let
but
us
it's
spin
just
our wheels for 2 more episodes. All right, that's all.
it's just annoying to have these characters that I feel like are good characters that bring a lot to your story, and then you just kind of tell them to fucking piss off at the end. It just doesn't feel great to me, at least.
I have been a soldier for. I have always wanted this. A talk between Deku and Hawks and Villain Hunt would have been so good because Deku, who is now grappling with this idea of like not wanting to kill people, he could go to Hawks and be like, "Hey, you killed a guy, right? Like, what, can you tell me
Yeah. Hey,
about that?
what? Yeah, what happened here? Yeah, that would have been good. Hey, you know what pisses me off is that
What's up?"
that little wrinkled ass Toad man was like, sometimes you just have to murder people. And then the series was like, he was right. He's right, actually. Sometimes you just gotta beat people to death.
Sometimes you have to try no other tactics and then just go
Yeah,
straight
sometimes
for
you
the
have
fucking.
to employ no alternative and then beat them to death with your fist until they turn to dust.
It's so frustrating that at the end of PLW, Deku is like, "I don't have a plan," which is fine at the end of PLW because it's not the end of the story. That's okay.
Yeah,
And then at the end, he doesn't have a plan.
he still doesn't have a plan. Yeah, he
Yeah,
never makes a plan.
because going into the final fight, the whole time I was, well, I wonder what Deku's been cooking up for the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. Oh, it was nothing. He did.
Nothing.
What was he? What was he doing? Like what
Jack
the?
shit. Nothing.
Dude, what? Like he was clocking hours in Final Fantasy, bro. Like what was he
Yeah,
doing?
well, because yeah, I mean, he gets it, man. Deku understands the importance. Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail just came out. What's he supposed
he
to do?
was like, he was like, I really wanted to come up with a plan, but Dawn Trail came out, so like, I didn't. I don't know. I was busy, man.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, Deku, what's your plan for Shigaraki?" And he's like, "What? I'm level 98 right now. What are you talking about?" And then it never, yeah, and it never
that's
came back
why.
up.
That's why he moved to kill him so fast too, because he hasn't finished the game yet. He's trying to get back home.
He's trying to avoid MSQ spoilers before he gets back, so he had to turn him to dust real fast.
It's the only
Oh my
logical
god.
explanation at this point, I think, man.
Oh my god. Bro, I don't know. It's just like I don't feel like it's asking too much for characters to get what I view as a respectful conclusion. And I don't know that
Yeah,
any of the villains got one. There's varying degrees of it. Like I think Spinner's conclusion's pretty solid. I like the
I like. Yeah, Spinner's
him
conclusion was
getting
good.
to say that he's gonna, be the basically the
Turn it into
living
a.
legacy of the league is pretty cool. I'm for
How
that.
about you turn it into a comic book?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that was stupid and not
No,
great,
no.
but
Spinner's conclusion was good. I like Spinner. Spinner has become the best member of the LOV by process of elimination.
well, yeah, there's not a whole lot of options left, are there? Um, and like I don't know. I don't know how we go back to caring about the children doing little children thing like either. You know what I mean? Because
I'm
like
pretty sure, and maybe I'll be wrong tomorrow, but I think this is like the most on the nose, least subtle setup that the Izuosha confirmation will happen next chapter.
oh that the girls are running around after
Yeah,
Toto
and then and
Baku.
then and then Deku will go find Ochako or something, and then she'll be like, "Yeah, Toga's dead, but like, do you wanna go out?
Do you want to go get crepes or whatever the fuck it
Yeah, you wanna
was
go get
that
crepes,
he
bro?"
talked about? Yeah, you want to go get the crepes? Yeah, I could see it. I think it's really weird to have a bunch of girls chasing after these kids right after they finished their murder spree.
It
But
does.
what do I know?
It it also feels really weird that we're probably getting like a ship confirmation very shortly when especially like it's weird enough because Deku failed and killed a man, but it's going to be especially weird if Toga is dead.
Yeah,
Why are they
Toga
being like
being
why is that happening?
dead feels extra like what the fuck? And, like I the worst case scenario here is that they do the ship thing and then they don't talk about her at all. They don't even mention it.
It's like Deku killed a man like 48 hours ago and then he like gets to enter a loving relationship. It's like, damn, you're being narratively rewarded for being a murderer now.
For
That's
being a
weird.
murderer. Yeah, I also think it's super funny that the last thing that Uraraka said to him on panel was that he looks ugly as fuck, and that she hopes his hair grows back soon.
Oh, is she spitting? You notice how in
Yeah,
the
she
spinner
ain't
chapter,
wrong. She
you
ain't
notice how
wrong.
in the spinner chapter, Horikoshi almost always draws him at an angle where that buzz cut is
Yeah, where
not
you can't
apparent.
see it. Yeah, it's really funny. But he's always drawn like looking from the side that's not torn up. It's really funny.
I think you can only see it like once or twice. Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And
I
then
don't
it,
know what to make of that redesign. I guess it was just supposed to be like, look, there's totally lasting consequences. The
on
boy's
page
ugly as hell
11,
now.
on page 11, even with the white space under his chin, he still put the speech bubble over where the haircut is.
It's really funny.
I respect that. That's funny as fuck. It's probably on purpose and it's really fun. Maybe the
It's
only
probably
good MHA
because
gag.
it's annoying to draw, to be
Probably, yeah.
honest. So he'd rather just not draw it. So he just
Man,
puts it out of the way.
I really wish that Deku got more scars throughout the series besides just like the literal end.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny that the they were like, oh yeah, Ares thing only has enough time to regrow your arms a little, so that the scars on his arms didn't also go away. Just because
Because
the Mickey Mouse accusations were going to be flying if his arms got fully
because
restored.
I always liked it when he got scarred because they were usually like really good moments. Except for this last one. This is the worst one.
Yeah,
Oh, what's really
it's not a
weird,
great one.
I remember talking a long time ago about how every time Deku gets a scar, it's because he failed at something. Like he gets the Todoroki scar. It's like, yeah, he helped Todoroki on the right path, but he failed the sports festival. And like yeah, he beat Muscular, but he lost Bakugo. And maybe this will continue, and maybe the story will just be like really explicit with Shigaraki just being a failure for Deku, which would be interesting, I guess, if he tried to do anything. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's internalizing it as a failure because, like, yeah, you fucked up, kid. But it is weird to me that he just didn't really seem like he did all that much to actually make a difference in the
yeah,
ultimate conclusion of what happened here. And maybe
uh,
if we're gonna get some comments that are like, actually, he did a lot, and I'm looking forward to reading that because I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
really didn't do anything.
Yeah, I can't see anything that he really like. Okay, he went into their joint brain world, which I don't know how he would have known he could do that ahead of time. It just sort of happened. Um, and then like they fought, but I don't even remember
They
like during
didn't
the
do
fight, did he
anything.
even try to be like, hey, what if we didn't fight for a minute and we just like talk? No,
No,
he just like beat on
he
him.
he grabs little Tenko's hands and he's like, "Somebody reached out to me once," and then he kills him. That's it, dude. No, I think. Fuck, where is it? There's a certain point where, with hindsight, I think Hori decided this is when Shigaraki was too far gone. Let me see if I can find. Is it 420?
That would be very funny.
No, it's right before it. It's got to be before 49. Or is it exactly 49? No, 419 is the worst chapter of all time. It's right. It's probably 418. Yeah, 418, page 10. So when Deku does the only thing he's done throughout the entire fight and tells Tomura, "Hey, somebody reached out to me once," and then Shigaraki like fades away, and he's like, "The villains need a hero of their own." I think in Hori's mind, this is when Shigaraki was too far gone and he had to die.
I could see it. I could see it. I think it kind of makes sense that it's just like but see, I feel like these are written so far in advance that he probably had decided that Shigaraki was going to die well before he
No, no,
realized
no.
he needed to
Sorry.
make a justification for it.
I mean that this was Hori's way of justifying Shigaraki's death, as in like,
Oh, yeah, yeah. That
yeah,
he'll never stop.
yeah, because Deku tried like one thing technically, I guess, and
Yeah, he talked to
Shigaraki's
him for like
response
seven
was,
seconds. Yeah.
yeah, and Shigaraki's response was, "Well, the villains need a hero too." And Deku, in Deku's mind, from Hori's author beam, Deku was like, "I gotta kill him now. Like, there's nothing I can do anymore.
Now I gotta end him.
I tried nothing, so I
You
guess I
know
gotta
what's
fucking
funny too
pulverize."
is remember way back a long time ago. It might even have been like the first war. Um, when Dabi is there and Deku's like, Dabi, don't listen to Endeavor. And Dabi's like, fuck you, kid. I've known you for 7 seconds. Why would I give a shit what you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he just tries to do it again with Shigaraki right here with like
yeah,
no plan.
when Deku goes up and to Dabi and he's like, "Hey, it's your quirk, not his," and Dabi's like, "Yeah, no shit, dude."
Yeah, I realized that, you stupid
Fucking
fucking
Einstein.
kid. What the fuck are you talking about?
I really like that moment still. It's so funny, man.
Yeah, he tries to hit him with like the same speech of like,
Yeah.
this worked before, probably work again.
That's back when Hori saw the sauce.
Yeah, back when he was still goaded. Yeah, Davi's
So funny.
response was just like, "You dumb fucking kid, shut the fuck up." And then he goes up to Tamura and he's like, "Hey, what if you were just happy instead?"
It's really crazy that we did the whole AFO. It was involved in fucking the fucking session that created Tomura, but like it never mattered. Like it didn't play any part in saving him, and nobody brings it up.
Yeah,
And then he gets body
nobody
jacked
brings
and
it
dies.
up, and then everyone hates him forever except Spinner and I guess Deku. Um, I think what's also weird about this too is like Hori can't seem to decide on the tone that he wants this to have at the end. Because now
Yeah.
that you bring this up, he is like obviously he's got the stupid scene of the girls chasing him down the hallway and stuff. But like you see a bunch of people on Twitter praising that, like, I'm so glad that MHA elected not to have a happy ending. But then it's like half the time they're leaning into it. Actually, everything's good now. Is it sad or is it not sad? What message are you trying to convey? Because you made Shigaraki exclusively a victim, right? Like
Yeah.
you took every semblance of potential agency he could have possibly had away from him in this final arc. Like there's zero argument that he's anything but a horrifyingly abused victim at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and so then you would assume that the ending being that this horribly abused victim had to be put down because it was too late,
Yeah.
should be tonally quite sad. And it doesn't really feel like they're committing to that, at least to me.
My issue with that has been since the killing blow, when Deku's punch parted the clouds across the world. Apparently, because like at the start of the story, All Might parted the clouds in the city when he saved Bakugo from the sludge villain as like a
Right.
heroic moment. So now I'm supposed to believe that Deku killing Shigaraki was a heroic moment, but then Deku doesn't believe it is. But then also like everyone's having fun and being silly. Also, Bakugo killed two people.
I still don't understand why he killed Kurogiri. Why did he kill
Nobody
Kurogiri?
does. Nobody does.
Why?
Oh my god.
Why? What was that for?
I think Rukasu tweeted about it too recent, like yesterday.
He did. Yeah, he was like, it's
He
the
was
most
like, "What happened with
nonsensical
him?"
scene. Yeah.
And then of course, you know how people replied to him. Of course.
Oh yeah, you just don't get it, etc. All that kind of shit. I'm sure. Um, but it's
Also,
really like fucking asinine. Like what happened?
Rukasu also tweeted yesterday. Guys, is Makia like actually dead? AFO killed two guys in the entire war, and both of them were
Both of
villains.
them were villains. Yeah.
What is going on in this fucking
I
series,
don't know,
dude?
dude. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. I genuinely don't get it. Like what the decision making process was going into this. Um, like why are we just executing everyone?
Every villain.
There's like zero deaths in the whole series that matter other than like Night Eye. I refuse to believe you if you say Midnight mattered. It does not matter. Um,
It's crazy when you think that. I think Makia and Iron Might both got hit by the same thing, and it might have killed Makia.
yeah, it might have killed him, and Iron Might deflected that shit.
That's fucking insane, right? Like that's not just me. That's fucking crazy.
Well, like the whole concept of Iron Might is the dumbest shit on earth.
Yes.
Not to retread this very well trod ground, but like the concept that All Might would have this suit and not bring it up during any of the planning period or like use it to do anything other than have a cool last minute showdown with the teenage version of his arch rival that he then loses the showdown between them both. So he fucked everyone over for a cool moment that he then couldn't deliver on. And then he got rescued by the somehow functional corpse of Katsuki Bakugo. It was just an asinine series. I think we've said this before too, but that whole Bakugo thing also really pisses me off because
Dude.
eventually
It's
the doctors were just like, "Man, I don't even know how you lived," and I was like, that's not a good explanation."
that's so lazy, man.
Yeah, of just being like, "It's a miracle."
All right, Zen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Now that the entire final war is over, we can ask this question with full hindsight. Why did they do the entire plan to split everyone up when they could have teleported both Shigaraki and Aofo to the same place, hit them both with a razor, and probably instantly killed all for one?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's they're gonna do something like, oh, well, they had a fucking plan
A
or
shared mind
something.
space, right?
Yeah, they had the hive mind
And yeah, and my question is, what does that do when AFO is just a normal ass dude
when he's
who
just
is
a
like
guy.
on life support?
Yeah, yeah. Does it work on like all of them? I guess it does because it worked on
Yeah,
Shiggy's a million quirks, right?
yeah, it works on all of them, and also it can target multiple people because it did that in USJ and also Overhaul Arc. It targeted multiple people at once.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Um,
So you bring Shiggy and AFO to the floating UA, you erase both of their quirks, and then you bring everybody like Endeavor, Hawks, Tokoyami, Jiro. You bring them all to UA. Endeavor hits AFO once, and he fucking instantly dies.
Yeah.
Oh, and also
Also,
it would deactivate AFO's de-aging quirk too.
so he would just turn to dust
He would just
immediately.
freaking collapse.
So one question that I have is oh shit, did I just lose it? Oh no,
Oh,
did Edgeshot die?
I don't know.
Because
You think
because
he's still wiggling around
is he
somewhere?
still a worm? Yeah, like because no
Is
one's
he
brought it up.
is he burrowed into the dirt somewhere? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, like is he just chilling in All Might's shirt pocket or is he dead? Because for some reason no one has clarified that.
I wonder if it'll be clarified by the. I don't know, dude. Where did he go?
They legitimately might not. They might just never bring him up again, which is also crazy to me.
That would be really funny.
The dude is like, I'm gonna turn myself into a fucking worm to bring Bakugo back, which they then also, in a very bold decision later on, decide to clarify would not have worked at all.
Didn't do anything.
If it would not have done fucking anything if the fucking magic sweat explosion didn't happen, then it would have been worthless. Which is a very, very bold decision to apply to
This
your
series is
fucking.
so crazy, dude.
It's wild as hell.
Turn
Uh,
himself into a worm, dude. Funniest
Turned
shit I
himself
ever seen.
into a fucking worm for nothing, apparently.
Dude,
And then, but then like he's gone, and no one's like, "Hey, what happened to where's Edge Shot?"
no,
They're just like,
no one give a fuck,
no one
bro.
gives shit. Yeah, like nobody fucking cares. Even like
They'll
Hawks
notice.
is just like, I'm president now. I don't have to give a shit about that worm.
They'll only notice in the sequel series, and like, it'll be like 50 chapters in. They'll be like, "Wait, where'd Eshok go?"
Hey, where's Edge Shot? Yeah, he'll be taught in like history class. They'll be like,
Hey, this
oh,
guy died
this
for
was Edge
he turned
Shot.
himself, he turned himself into a worm for nothing and then died.
He turned himself into a worm
He was
to
the
try
number
to
four
bring this
hero.
kid back to life, and it didn't fucking work.
Yeah, great series though.
Yeah, banger. Positively banger. There's so much shit in this that's just fucking insane, dude.
The final war is like genuinely horrendous.
It's just like what the fuck is going on in anything at any time? It's so insane.
The final war is just so bad.
I
It's
genuinely don't know how you like read it and you're like, "Oh yeah, no, this is correct. This is cool."
no, dude, it's crazy because the whole narrative on the Bakugo revival has just changed too. Like I don't know if everyone from back in the day has just left and been replaced by new people, but like it's something that gets gassed now.
That's crazy that people are
Yeah,
riling that up because that shit sucks.
it's really
That's insane to me. I was gonna say I'm sure someone will explain to us why they think it's good, but now I don't want you to. Please don't. Um,
like you gotta at least admit that like the series can do wrong sometimes. Come on, bro.
yeah, sometimes it has to be able to make mistakes. Like it can't always be
Yeah,
perfect.
and I feel like there's one thing that this nation should be able to unite on. Two things. Sorry, one just happened last week, and one is Bakugo's revival is back.
Yeah, Bakugo's revival being good shouldn't even be like a discussion that people are willing to entertain, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but since when is anyone like, actually, that's super rad? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I expect 3 of them by the time this goes live, buddy.
I'm sure there will be. Yeah, but almost one of the first things is going to be, wow, the blind hatred is unbelievable. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Shit kind of blows.
Should we get into Sukuna Kaisen now?
Yeah, yeah, I guess we can go talk about Sukuna Kaisen. I'm gonna call it that in the timestamps as well, just because why not? 39:26 Sukuna Kaisen.
I
All
think
right, we
where
can
we
go.
left off is it took a really long break and then it came back with like a 2-page chapter.
Yeah, hasn't it been like one chapter since that happened?
Um, I think two. I think I don't know what Viz has it listed as, but it's called 262 2.
262 too. Yeah, it's still going. They're
The
still
Punch Kick
doing the
chapter,
same
yeah.
thing. It sure is Jujutsu Kaisen still. Um,
And then we get the Sun Eater laser beam where he fires the purple, and the next chapter nothing
and
happens.
nothing happens. Yeah, just the perpetual, constant lack of anything occurring that could make a difference. Um, it's really
Oh my
funny how
god.
Yuta got like everything in the whole world and then just immediately fumbled the bag like beyond belief.
I completely forgot about recording cursed speech and throwing it
Yes!
somewhere.
What is that? How? Even?
Why was this not integrated in any plan?
Yeah, much prior to right now.
So there's a YouTuber, Local W. He was talking about how this could have been incorporated into the plan by using Higuruma's domain, getting the sword, using Wiwi to teleport Higuruma out, and then like once Sukuna has been whittled down enough that the curse speech will work, teleport him back in, throw the recorded curse speech in, kill him, and there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, how does that even work?
I have no fucking clue. I asked the same
I thought it
question, and
was
then
a cell
people.
phone that he
I
threw
asked
in
the
and then
same
he said it.
question, and then people were like, "Oh, well, he used it over the phone before," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's a little bit different than saving it in your
Yeah, like,
files for later."
yeah, does he have it? Like, if he put that in a YouTube video, would it have hit everyone? Would ever, like, if he records shit your pants on a YouTube video, would everyone watching it then shit themselves? Is that how the power? Like, again, I thought it was a fucking cell phone because when he
Yeah,
threw it, I thought it was like, because it shows him
that makes
bleeding
way
from the
more sense.
throat. So I was like, because also it shows him bleeding when it happens, right? Like he's clutching his, because of course the dude
Yeah,
can't fucking do anything without gushing blood. Um, and so my assumption was that's when he did it. Is he threw a phone and he said it over the phone. If he recorded it and he was bleeding that much from recording it, like what the fuck is going on?
so like, what was he? What was he like? Was he like chilling at home, like playing Final Fantasy, and then suddenly he just like starts bursting blood? Like, what happened? Like,
Yeah, cool, because the whole thing was like depending on the power difference between himself and who uses it is like
yeah,
how bad the reverb
yeah.
back on him is. But like if it's recorded, how does it know?
Also, does he have his arm back?
Does he? I don't fucking know. I mean,
There's two arms in that panel.
are you sure it's not just an empty sleeve?
I mean, I get it looks too shapely. Like, I guess it could be. Maybe it's like a stump. I don't remember how far his arm got cut down.
It was off. It was like totally off.
It
That
looks like
that
way too
boy
straight. You know
had
what I mean?
no arm. Hang on, let me pull it up.
It's 262 to page 12.
Um, yeah, it definitely looks like he's got his hand like on his leg, but I'm pretty sure that could just be a sleeve.
It could be. Yeah. Maybe Gege forgot. Maybe he
Yeah.
forgot.
Although, is that? I thought that was the arm that got cut off. This is his right arm, but I guess not. I guess it
I
was the
think
left arm.
it was his left. I don't
I
remember.
don't remember either. Um,
Yeah, nothing ever happens the manga too because MHA has that title. Hollow Purple gets fired, and then nothing happens,
it just does not. Yeah, like what do you mean it just does nothing? Like he can't move and he takes a purple point blank to the fucking face.
and then he
And
collapses.
then he's like, he's not used to it. What do you fucking mean he's not used to it? What does that mean? Isn't he supposed to have all of Gojo's memories of how, how did he practice the other shit?
I do like that. Yuto's having a hard time fighting in his body because Gojo's limbs are so long.
Yeah, because he's like
That's
not
funny.
used to having an adult body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And then
Uh,
I think it's also really funny when Toto's like, bro, fire purple as much as you can, and the page turn is him just flat on his fucking face.
uh, uh,
Oh, it's
it
really
looks
funny.
like I don't know, man. Sukuna Kaisen might be coming to an end, so he's kind of getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, well, I like how they fucking brought Yuta out in Gojo's body, and they're like, shit's about to get real, and they did one thing, and now it's back to Yuji and Toto fighting him. Why did you
Yeah.
even bring him out?
Are you ready for this Jacob's Ladder to be the Nothing Ever Happens manga
Yeah, for the
chapter
Jacob's
sequel.
Ladder to do fucking jack all nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Um, what good stuff happened? I like that Toto's dumbass thingy broke, so he bonks it on his head now, and the
Yeah.
sound effect is bonk. That's really funny. Um, and then he bites it to stop it. Is that even a thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
Um, and then they're like, "Oh, he's using dismantle on the barrier of our souls." What doesn't it like, cut shit? What do you mean he's using it on the why do you mean that he's using it on the barrier of your souls instead of your physical fucking body to cut your ass in half? Like, what do you mean? Also,
So
is that Megami that he pukes up and then
no,
swallows?
I think he puked up some fingers,
Oh yeah, he did puke up some of his own fingers. That's weird.
and then he's like, "Fuck, put him back."
Fuck yeah, put him back. Why did he? Why are those fingers not just his fingers? Now?
I don't know, but it is the first time we've seen Sukuna think, "Holy shit, I might actually lose.
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck, I'm getting tossed.
I'm getting cooked." Uh, I had a lot of people over the months cope and seethe and tell me that there's no way this is the final arc, but now we have official confirmation for the exhibition that this is it,
Yep, it's over.
and that's really funny. All of the Heian era coping is over. We're never gonna see it.
Also, when this is more me finding it silly, but on page 13, when Toto's like, I doubt my spare Vibra Slap would register as my left hand. Hey, what do you fucking have it for then? It's its only purpose. Also, does he just have one with him in
he's
addition
got
to the
he's
one on
got
his
he's
arm?
got one in his pocket, dude.
He's got a backup in his pocket.
I am so tired of this fight.
Yeah, I'm super over it. It stopped being cool a while ago for me. Now it's just kind of
Families have
silly.
started. Families have started over the course of this fight.
There were people who loved Jujutsu Kaisen a year and a half ago who have died before this fight is concluded.
Dude,
Like,
and I think we're on a break again too. Gege is
Donald
going
Trump
through it,
almost got assassinated before this fight ended.
man.
Like, what the fuck?
I have so desperately been waiting for something to happen this whole time.
Yeah, it's just, and then like, oh yeah, we're gonna you're gonna come in and Jacob's ladder him, and it shows him turning to look at it, and that was the minute I was like, oh, he's gonna be fine. He's
It's
he's
just like,
gonna he's gonna walk that shit off.
why even bother? Because like he's not gonna get killed by it because the manga's not gonna end right here.
Yeah, the manga's not gonna end right here, and it's gonna have to like they have to save Megami.
Yeah.
So she's gonna hit the angels like the fucking Jacob's ladder, and he's gonna be like, ah, ouchies, oofies, and then he's gonna cut her in half and kill her immediately after that.
I don't know. Maybe we'd be surprised, man. I don't fucking know.
Every time someone says that, I'm not. So I don't think it's gonna happen. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe you know what? He's just gonna explode into a fine powder right here, and then the rest of the arc is just gonna be trying to get Megami to not
Out of the
Maharaga
ashes.
himself immediately when he wakes up. Do you think that Maharaga is just gone now because Gojo killed it, right? So do you think
I
Megami
think
just
it
has
is
like
gone, right?
one Uber shadow left? That's like the only thing that he
He
has.
should just retire. Maybe we should just kill him, dude.
Yeah, just kill him, dude. Like, what has he got left for anyway? Take his ass out.
I'm really wondering if the emotional climax and catharsis of Megami dooming the entire world will be interesting enough to justify it happening.
I don't know. I do think it would be interesting if Megami comes back and he's like, fuck this, and he just does the
Just,
merger anyway.
yeah.
He's just like, I'm out of here, dude. I don't give a fucking. This sucks. That would be entertaining at the very least to me.
I
Um,
don't know, man. I can't talk about it as long as I can talk about MHA because I'm just so uninterested in everything that's happening.
well, yeah, well, because nothing's happening. Like, no matter what, there's
Yeah.
just nothing occurs they're like, oh, here's our
Yeah.
plan, and they're like, oh, okay, sick. What's the plan? And then they do the plan, and the plan fucking sucks. And then they're like, ah, shit, the plan didn't work. And then they move on to like other shit. I just don't understand what the point of any of that shit is,
I
dude.
can't wait to see the next backup plan.
Yeah, what's plan number 12? Yeah, what do you got for me now here? Like,
Nobara, let's go. Oh,
it's
she's like
also
officially confirmed done, isn't she?
yeah, it's super funny that
In
I
an
mean,
interview.
you could argue that she was confirmed dead when Megami refused to
Yeah.
tell Yuji that she was dead, but I don't think that's a sufficient conclusion to like confirm that she was dead because
Yeah.
they went out of their way to be like she might not be dead. She might not be.
Yeah.
Only for him to like fucking be just say, "Oh yeah, by the way, she's gone, bro.
Yeah.
She's cooked."
It's just as an author, people expect when you add something to a story that it's gonna matter. So when you go out of your way to write the dialogue that says, "Hey, there's a chance, so
There's a
I'll do it. I'll
yeah.
try."
Or like if you're gonna do that, which is fine, do it, but be more definitive when you say it didn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And oh
So
man, that guy
obviously,
sucks. By the way, what the fuck is the point of him?
clearly, nobody in the fandom thought that was a sufficient enough confirmation that she was dead. So
Yeah, everyone's trying to act now like it was obvious, which is like, shut up,
yeah.
you nerds. No, it wasn't.
And then what else did Gege? Gege said something about culling games being disappointing to him, right?
Yeah, he said something like
Because he didn't get to use the rule
he
set to
didn't,
the way he wanted to
and
use
he
it.
didn't flesh out Megami's sister. He said was a thing
True.
that
That's
he
what I've
didn't
been
like about it.
saying.
Yeah.
Despite all the Twitter threads telling me that that's false.
Yeah, he said some shit like he wanted to do more with Megami's sister that he didn't get to do, um, which I think is a good, accurate thing to say because he didn't do shit with her at all.
On
Um,
one hand, it makes me so happy to see that JJK fans take all these L's because they've been so fucking annoying.
yeah, I don't know,
But
man.
also, I really respect Gege for going out there and saying he fucked that shit up though. That's really cool.
Yeah, well, because it would be very easy to just be like, actually, my
Yeah.
story fucking rules. Um,
It would have
yeah,
been
so I
easy to
like that
just
he's like,
ignore it.
that sucks.
It would have been easy to just never say anything about it.
Hmm. Yeah, just
But he was
completely
just
like
like,
not even
yeah,
bring it up. Yeah.
I did not do as well as I could have post Shibuya. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But it's cool you said it.
Yeah, and it is. Um, an interesting choice. I'm sure some people are probably mad that he said it, but I like it that he that he said it.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't hate JJK enough to not like peep his second series. Cool, I'll do that, sure.
Oh yeah, whatever he comes up now, I'll
MHA
check it out.
though, Hori can keep it.
Well, I don't know, man. I want Hori to stop writing manga for his own mental health because that dude is
Yes,
on the
he's
cusp of a
yeah.
breakdown at all times.
So inevitably, in like 5 years, when his second series comes out, we will not be there, personally.
Yeah, he's gonna like start writing his second series, and then he's just gonna have a panic attack immediately and just collapse in the street that he's writing manga again. Which got to do what you got to do, I guess.
Hopefully, he's made enough from MHA to just live the life that he wants to live now. Go watch
Yeah, I
movies with
mean he has
Gege.
to have, right? That shit
Yeah.
fucking made a good $1 trillion.
Go watch movies with Gege. Go hang out together.
I
Whatever
think it's
else
so
they do, I
funny
don't know.
that they just like vibe. They're just
Yeah.
like, this sucks, bro.
There's probably a level of camaraderie that brewed because they're both dying from the fucking manga
Yeah,
they're
they're
working on.
just like perishing trying to get their
Yeah.
work done. Yeah.
I'm glad that they got to get the bond over it, I guess.
The
It's cool,
raw
man.
misery that they're currently living
Yeah.
through. Yeah. Someone's got to help them, right? I mean, why not each other?
Is it finally time we talk about a good series?
Ah, thank God. Yeah, I was thought you'd never ask. All right, so next up we got Kagurabachi.
So good, man.
Pretty goated.
So
I'm not
good,
gonna
man.
lie. Pretty constantly goated, actually.
I think this most recent chapter is the least that I've had to say this arc, but it's still good. They copyrighted my fucking video again, dude. They took
Yeah,
it from me
I
again.
saw that. It's just weird also that they keep doing that for the series that like got popular because of
Yeah,
fandom involvement. You know?
dude, they have acknowledged, wow, this series is doing really well in Western spaces. Let's go ahead and stop that.
Yeah, let's make sure that they cannot talk about it at
Let's make
all.
sure that we make less money. Like, what the fuck, man? It's
It's a
so
choice,
confusing.
that's for sure.
It makes me so fucking mad, dude. Because like I love this series, and then I constantly get fucking buckshotted for it.
Also, didn't they already hit that video?
It's the second one I made.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, how did they do that fucking twice?
It's the second one I made that was doing way better than the first, by the way, and they shot it.
Awesome. Really cool, Shueisha. You
Yeah,
definitely don't blow.
yeah. But the series is still great.
Yeah, despite Shueisha's best efforts, it still bangs. Um, yeah, the most recent chapter is probably well, because like the least really happens. It's just an action chapter.
Yeah, it was
Um,
cool though. It was cool as fuck,
yeah, it was super cool when he busts out Flamebone. That was sick.
dude. I had someone who watched Shonen and Chill confirm that I was right. Back in chapter 3, I said that it looked like Akka had the ability to absorb and reuse abilities. And I remember there were comments on that video that were telling me I was wrong, and I didn't care that much. I was like, okay, fair, whatever. I was right the whole fucking time, dude.
Yeah, well, because I know for a while people were like, no, it's a reflector ability, because they just showed him using it to like block the
Yeah,
bomb and then bomb
and
the guy again.
yeah, and I was just like, I mean, okay, sure, that's fair. That makes sense. But I was right the
Yeah.
whole time, dude. It's so base. And what I was talking about last time about like tradition and stuff, and like change, and this continues the messaging of changing the interpretation too, because Hakuri still uses the storehouse and registers human beings as merchandise on there, but it's for a totally different purpose, right?
Hmm.
Because the intent for Hakuri is to save people, whereas, his dad's kind of a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. The Proceeder, kind of a
Yeah,
fucking
the
asshole.
Procedure. And there's a really cool thing that he's doing, the dad that he's doing in the storehouse, where you can literally see the old ass conservative fuck ass generation attempting to bend the world to their will, which is what he could do in the storehouse, which is really cool. Kagurabachi for real said fuck boomers, dude.
They're not wrong. That's all I'm saying. They got
um,
they got opinions, and I am in agreement with them.
I mentioned this in my newest Kagurabachi video that has now been shot in the back of the head twice, um, which now I've seen all of Twitter talk about, so I'll take at least partial credit for that. There's been this really interesting dissonance between like Chihiro's dad and the types of weapons that he makes. Because you'll see him like be silly and like fucking do weird shit with his feet and play with his son, and then he makes a fucking weapon of mass destruction, and it's
Yeah,
like,
like
wow,
the nuclear bomb weapon.
yeah,
Like,
like he'll be like goofing off, and then it cuts to like man-made horrors beyond our comprehension.
yeah, it's there's definitely more to him than we have
Yeah,
learned so far, for sure.
like we've seen two things that the Shinoichi can do with like fucking 0.1% of its power because he doesn't actually own it, and it's diabolical, dude.
Yeah, it's like nightmarish.
Like, what was this guy cooking?
I've
You
also
could
seen a
definitely tell
pretty
why he.
interesting theory that the ability to absorb powers in N10 was by design to like get the blades if they ever like got used for evil, was so that
Oh.
he could because that way N10 could always fight them because he could absorb their abilities back at them, which I
Oh,
thought was a
that's
pretty neat
interesting.
concept. Yeah,
That's really cool, actually.
because
Because
them shits
wow.
are crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shinoichi is fucking deranged.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
And it's like, bro, what war were you fighting where you need this?
I know. You thought that was a necessary thing to exist.
I would like to know more about the war too.
Yeah,
Because it
it's
was
been
made
kind
it
of
was
like a nothing factor, sort of,
yeah,
like so
it
far.
was made clear that it wasn't just like it wasn't like a shonen war between like clans or anything. It was like a nation. It was a war that involved the nation of Japan.
Yeah, shit was real fucked, basically. It was
Yeah.
really bad. Um, Pretty cool idea. And also, like, I want to know how. I mean, I guess everyone wants to know that because it's like the point of the series. But I want to know how the damn swords were made because, like, does he give the power to the sword, or does he make it and the sword is just like, this is what I fucking do? Because if he is out there like giving the swords this the nightmare ability that they've got, then he's got some conversations he needs to be having.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's so many fucking interesting. Like, I really want to see his dad's backstory. I really want to see stuff on the war. I really want to see stuff about the creation of these fucking blades. I really want to see more about like the political landscape of Japan with like because it's like nuclear weapons, where once these kinds of weapons are made, that's a lid you can't put back on.
Yeah, you can't take it back.
Yeah, there's so many interesting angles this series could take for the future, and I'm hoping that Hiyuki's exist. I hope Hiyuki gets like more to do, and we get that from her.
Yeah, I kind of hope that Hiyuki and Chihiro like become buddies, not buddies, like officially, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's so funny how like predictable shonen fandoms are. Where like the second the woman got introduced, like everyone's like, "Oh, they're gonna end up together." I'm like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, I don't think so.
They're she
I
wants to
don't
literally take
I
his
don't
life,
think
bro.
so. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna end up together, but I would like Hiyuki to be like a quasi part of the
Active,
team.
yeah.
Like not explicitly a part of the
Or
team.
or they talk about Chihiro and Hinao, and I'm like, she barely exists.
Yeah, I don't think Chihiro's got love on the brain. I'll say that. I don't think it's
he's
very
got
high on his priority list.
he's got murder on the brain, dude. He's
Yeah, dude,
busy.
dude's got murder on his mind. He's trying to get his swords back. I don't think he really gives a shit about who is
Chihiro
the
is
most
currently
dateable of his crew.
he is currently grasping with the interpretations of his father and making nuclear weapons. I think he's busy.
Yeah, he's trying to survive that legacy. He don't have time to fucking deal with the rest of that.
I the last thing I think about with Kagurabachi is the ships.
Yeah, which is obviously quite reasonable given that there's barely any like
Yeah,
romance of any kind in it at all.
it's funny. Like I see people try to like compare the cast to other series, and I'm like, Kagurabachi is in its infancy still, dude. There are
Yeah,
not that
there's
many
40
characters.
chapters. Like you gotta chill.
There are not that many notable characters, and that's not a mark against Kagurabachi. It's just young. You have Chihiro, you have Hakuri, the two goats, Sojo, Hiyuki, Char, and then Chihiro's dad, and then after that you start getting into really muddy territory with like who characters are,
Yeah, I mean,
which
other
is fine by the
than
way.
yeah, it's not a big deal. But other than like Chihiro's gang, uh, and then Hyuki and her like barrier buddy that makes the
Yeah,
little places for her to fight, there's like really not that
it's a
much character depth.
small focused cast.
Yeah, it's a very narrow cast. Even like the characters that looked like they could have been cast members from the shit with Sojo got nuked into oblivion.
Yeah, that's still kind of
So
crazy.
yeah, dude, they got fucking destroyed. So we will not be seeing them again. Uh, so yeah, I think worrying about all that stuff in chapter 40 is probably a bit early.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about the ships. Chihiro already has a daughter he has to worry about, like and a
Right? Yeah.
revenge story. Kagurabachi's so good, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish they'd stop
absolute best.
striking my video.
Well, yeah. I don't know what you can do about that, but yeah.
I wish Shueisha would stop unleashing the Shinoichi on my fucking content, bro. It hurts so bad.
Yeah, it really looks pretty miserable to
They
have that
use
shit constantly get bodied.
they take like 1% of the blade out of the sheath, and my fucking channel gets deleted. Great
Oh man.
series. I honestly can't believe we're already on chapter 40, man. It feels like it's been so
Yeah, it
fast.
it kind of feels like it has gone really fast. You
I was
still
thinking
have
about it the
people
other
out
day.
there being like, stupid meme series needs to die,
I
and it's
was
out here
oh my
being
god,
goaded.
what 40? I was thinking about it when 40 came out. I was like, wow, we're like actually already at 40. It does not feel like it's been 40 weeks.
It was 41, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's been
Yeah,
41 now.
it's fucking crazy, dude. And at no
It's been a
point does it feel
fantastic
like it
time.
gets bad, which
No,
is wild.
let me see. I'm curious. Where was MHA at chapter 41? I have to stop having so many fucking chapters in your series. I have to scroll so far.
Yeah, there's so much.
Chapter 41 was right after the Todoroki fight.
In the sports festival.
And yeah, and Deku's fucking fingers were all fucked up. Wow, that's crazy. This was right when MHA got hella popular too.
Yeah, that was like when it blew up.
Yeah. Now, where was JJK?
JJK in the 40s has to be like the Kyoto stuff?
Chapter 40. Oh god. I open it and I see fucking Momo and Nobara. Momo on her little fucking broom.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's in the middle of the
It's the
Kyoto
feminism
Goodwill.
fight.
Yeah, yeah, it sure is.
These are starkly different 41s, I will say.
You're not wrong. You are innately not wrong.
I feel like, yeah, Kagurabachi's second arc will probably end soon. I'm very interested. I'm also surprised that the Shinoichi has been used this early too, even though it's like so little. Dude, oh my god, the fact that that guy can just like use it remotely, like,
Yeah, just when
because
someone else is holding it is
yeah,
insane.
because Chihiro is able to connect with the sword, and it's hard, and he has to like imbue it with the spear energy, and he can't do it for that long. This dude is like straight up using it from somewhere else entirely. That's crazy.
Yeah, I assume that the Shinichi stuff is not gonna be done here though. They're
No,
probably gonna like it'll be back later on. Like there's no way you just reclaim that sword right now the way that you did with
yeah.
Cloud Gouger.
Oh, it also that also reminds me. Just looking at a page from this fight, we still don't technically know if Chihiro's arm is just like properly back or not.
Oh yeah, if it's like an actual healed arm or
Yeah,
if it's like some kind of aesthetic thing.
yeah.
Well,
I
not
don't know.
aesthetic. What was I fucking trying to
Yeah,
say?
prosthetic.
Prosthetic, yeah.
There's so many cool. Oh my god, there's so much cool shit I'm waiting for, man.
It's honestly since Kagurabachi has started coming out, it's been harder to read the other shit. Like maybe not to you, I don't know, but for me, I've been sitting here like, man, I gotta
I
fucking
mean,
read Kill Blue right now. Are you fucking shitting me?
it doesn't help that series like Kill Blue have not been particularly exciting.
No, it does not help, but
But like
man,
every chapter of
it's
Kagurabachi is
tough.
at least good.
Yeah, there's never a Kagurabachi chapter where I'm like, wow, that was a waste of time. Like I am with so many other things.
Should we start the lightning round, sir?
Yeah, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the lightning round of
Uh,
literally everything else.
All right. Start with Blue Box.
Boy, that was a thing.
I
I
thought
kind of
the
like
mom
the
chapter
whole
was
arc of
super.
like I'm
I think
your dad might not
yeah.
freak out the way that you think he will, kind of stuff that was
The,
going
the
on
mom
was
chapter was
interesting.
really fucking sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. Also, he like lost off screen. I think he lost off screen.
Well, yeah,
Unless I'm misremembering, right? Didn't he lose off screen?
I believe you're correct. Yes.
That was kind of unexpected. It just kind of happened.
Yeah. Um,
And
I
so
don't
did
know.
Haru. No, was Haru's on screen? I don't remember anymore.
No, I think
I think
Haruo got off
everyone
screened
lost
as
on
well.
screen.
Yeah, I think Haruo
Everyone
also got
lost.
off screened.
Holy shit, dude. The Horikoshi special.
We got no time for content in this manga.
um. Okay. Do you have anything else to say about Blue Box? Or is that it?
Nope, it was cute.
All right. Undead Unluck. The only note I took was a thumbs up emoji.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of me with Undead Unluck too. It's like it's still good. Thank God they said this is the last person they're going to recruit.
Yeah, I know. I know you especially are tired of that.
Yeah, we're going to get Tatiana, and that's the last one. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
like, thank you, Lord,
But then Andy
no
will come back from
more.
the sun. I miss Andy, bro.
Yeah, me too. Like for God's sake, it's not
I want
like
him.
he's
I want him back from
fucking,
the sun.
not like he's the other protagonist of the series. He's been gone for 11 years.
Yo, we gotta talk about how people keep disrespecting Fuko by saying Andy's the protagonist.
Yeah, well, I mean that's objectively wrong. Uh, that Andy is the protagonist.
If you are
Clearly,
out
he's not.
there, if you are out there saying Andy is the protagonist, you have some self-reflection to do about your
Yeah,
relationship with women.
there's some interesting. misogyny coming out of that statement. I'll tell you that much.
It is so clearly Fuko, dude. Holy
It's
shit.
very obviously it's Fuko.
Oh yeah, but Andy is raw, bro, so he's the protagonist.
Andy is cool and has a dick, so he gets to be the protagonist.
Alright, Yozakura family.
Actually, kind of neat. I thought
Yeah, it's fine.
Kengo's full blooming was pretty sick. I still hold that this series is gas when it's not talking about those fucking children. Whenever those insufferable children are not on the screen, this series is gas. And then there's content around them, and I'm like, dear God, get them out of here.
Unfortunately, the anime, I think in Japan it's doing fine. Globally is kind of a flop.
Oh, really? People aren't feeling it?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
unfortunate.
how many times have you seen people talk about the Yozakura family anime on Twitter?
I didn't even know it was out already. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't watch that much anime.
It
Uh,
is not doing well. I have also stopped watching it. It has not gripped me.
well, the beginning of Yozakura Family kind of sucks anyway, though. It's just like nothing happens.
It's just like they're not doing anything with it. Like all of the cool scenes in Yozakura fam, they're kind of getting the MHA approach where like very uninspired slideshow, like
Ugh, what a fucking
boring
waste.
action sequences. And I was hoping that that would just be like maybe they're saving it for core 2. Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah,
So I don't
that's a real flop. That sucks.
know. Yeah.
It's usually pretty
Uh
cool, the when they do cool
Ky-
stuff in that.
Kyokuto Necromance. It's not bad.
It's fine. I have zero opinion really on it.
Yeah.
It just kind
Not
of
the worst
exists.
Exorcist series to come in Weekly Shonen Jump, we will say that much.
No, God no. Um, but it's not wow. It's not wowing me, but I don't hate it.
It is a
It
Shonen Jump series
exists.
of all time.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It sure is a Shonen Jump series that exists in this book.
Yeah, it's fine. Kill Blue.
Dude, I'm just like, it's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of tired of it. It feels like
Yeah.
it's just very repetitive almost though. And it's like,
I really like the line in the last chapter where she was like, "You're 39 years old. And you went to a seventh grader for advice on how to apologize to your ex-wife." That made me smile. That's about all I have to say.
yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of over the gimmick. It feels like we're still living the gimmick really hard, and I'm not that interested in the gimmick anymore. But
Yeah.
I guess without the gimmick, you don't have a series. So
I mean, what are we on now? We're on Oh my god. Make me fucking click see more. How dare you? It's on chapter 61. And I don't know. I don't think I've had fun for like 20 chapters.
yeah, yeah. I started tuning out really hard when they had the surf competition for dating rights. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty bored. And it hasn't gripped
Yeah.
me. It hasn't like I'm not ready to stop reading it ever, but it certainly hasn't pulled me back in.
No, it's not drop worthy. It's just like I'm
It's just very nothing.
absorbing information with my eyeballs and it's
Yeah,
being
that's
accepted
exactly
by
how
my
it is.
brain.
I'm looking at pages,
My
information is
brain
being
is
entered into my
interpreting the
brain and it's being
language.
turned off. Yeah.
How about Psych House?
Dude, I don't care about Psych House.
It is
I
a
find
Weekly Shonen Jump manga
I
series of all
find
time.
almost nothing about it to be particularly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um, it's not even that it's like unenjoyable, but it's just that like I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, uh, like every time it tries to make a joke, it's not funny to me. Like when the dude makes the giant tennis racket and he's like, "Look at my big ass tennis racket," and then the ball goes through the tennis racket because like, "Oh, my tennis
Yeah.
racket was too big." I'm like, "That's okay.
Wow.
That's
So brave.
yeah, it's great humor, very funny."
Yeah, I mean, Psych House isn't shit. It's just,
It's just
yeah.
yet another like gag focused manga in Shonen Jump
Yeah.
that does nothing that funny.
Information is being absorbed into my brain.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
All right, Ruby Dragon.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I like that line of like dragon powers are kind of useless in this setting. That was fun. She also said about how one wrong move could make her a monster, and that's what I mean when I say that the series feels so ominous to me for some reason.
That like eventually it's gonna get bad. Yeah, I can
Eventually,
see it.
something is going to happen. Especially, oh my god, I need to find it. Something happened with her mom that was really weird, right? Fucking
Yeah. Oh, that what like one conversation that they had.
yeah, I can't remember what chapter it was in. I took a note on it. I wrote these notes like fucking centuries ago. I don't remember when this took place.
Hang on, let me try to find it. Well, actually, didn't we already talk about that conversation?
I don't remember. Maybe it's just this series feels so strange. I don't know if it plans on like
Yeah,
being happy-go-lucky forever or like
it definitely has vibes of like.
it is in fact in Weekly Shonen Jump. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is it like
Oh,
it's a
sorry, not
Shonen Jump
weekly anymore.
series?
Sorry, it's in
Yeah, no,
Shonen Jump Plus.
it's Jump Plus now, which I guess is better for it if it wants to go that route. But it definitely has the weird like there's stuff under the surface, but because it's a
Yeah,
Jump manga, you never know if we're actually going to get under the surface or if it's just going to
yeah.
be this forever, you know?
I I don't know. It keeps throwing me off, dude. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I would like it to get a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
I am definitely kind of not bored, but I'm not looking forward to Ruri Dragon every week. I'll say that. I'm just kind of like, oh, Ruri
Honestly, I
Dragon's
am.
there.
I think it's like Kagurabachi, Reach Dragon, and the rest I don't care about.
But for me, it's Kagurabachi, Dan to Dan, and then the rest I don't care about. Um, but I respect
Dan
it.
to Dan.
Listen, man, it's good. You just got to get past the worst first chapter and maybe ever. But once you do, it's pretty good.
It's alright. When the check clears from John Jump, I'll read it, alright?
Yeah, well, when Shinzo got doohickeyd, the
The
money
checks
dried up for
yeah,
sure.
check stopped coming in.
Yeah, the mail stopped getting quite so exciting when Shinzo got thingamabobbed.
Alright, Chainsaw Man, what do you think?
Um, is it weird that I feel like nothing happened in the most recent chapter, despite obviously important stuff
No,
happening?
it's entering fucking. It's gonna be the third Nothing Ever Happens manga in a
Yeah, the
review.
nothing ever happens manga again. Um, like the Nayuta reveal is big, but I assume she's not dead because nobody
Yeah,
ever
I
fucking
I'll
like.
be honest with you, dude. I kind of don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, because again, I'm very confident she's gonna come back because Denji was just ahead in a box like a month ago, and he's fine now.
Yeah.
Um, I did really like the page of him ripping that dude's head off with his band though. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That dude was he was trying to talk shit and he got his head ripped off like it wasn't there.
A part of me is like, I understand. A lot of people don't like what's going on because it's like endless suffering, and I honestly, I think I could probably agree with that to an extent. Um, I don't know. It seems like both
Well, the
Denji and
thing
Asa are
is,
kind of just both in shock, right?
yeah, I think that Chainsaw Man Part 1 was a lot more endless suffering than people probably give it credit for back then.
Mm.
But I think the difference was that you liked the characters more.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, Chainsaw Man Part 1 pretty much goes like bam, bam, bam. Aki's dead,
Yeah.
Power's dead, everything sucks, like really quickly. Um, and then, oh, Denji's lost it, he's the evil chainsaw monster. But I feel like you had so much time with those characters and they had so much
Hmm.
personality that you really like got invested when this bad shit started
Hmm.
happening. With this, like, Asa's fine. I don't dislike her, but she's not super endearing to me, at least. I'm just kind of like whatever
Well,
about her.
what's crazy to think about is I think we're like 3/4 the length of part one at this point.
Yeah, and it again kind of feels like the Nothing Ever Happens
Yeah.
series. Like, and
So
I don't
I'm
even
kind of
think I
hoping.
necessarily mean that in like a shitty way, because clearly he's trying to do something. But like
Yeah.
he has a plan. Hashtag whatever the fuck that plan is. He's got a plan. But like it's really hard for me to get invested in this whole like, oh, we're revealing that now Yuta is dead and now he's evil Chainsaw Man again, because it doesn't feel as earned as it felt the first time. It just sort of feels like it's happening.
I feel like Denji and Asa are both probably in shock over what's happened. I think it was pointed out last chapter or the chapter before that she lost her arm, and it was pointed out that she hasn't really reacted to that. Um, I don't know though, man. I just don't really care.
Yeah, I don't care either. Like, and I don't know if it's because you're putting Asa and Nayuta up against characters like Aki and Power, who were like these really big personalities that were like, I mean, Aki was obviously the stoic one, but he still had a personality, and there was a real
Mhm,
like you got to see them as a family unit. And then in
mhm.
part two, these are very much like disconnected characters that vaguely give like you hardly ever get to see Denji with Nayuta a little bit, but not that much. And Asa barely feels like a factor to either of them. So it's just weird. And then, you've got her as the second point of view character. So she spends a lot of time also doing her own thing, completely separated from them. And so it's hard for me to like be interested in this sudden like, oh,
Mhm.
is she gonna save him? Is war gonna kill? Like, I don't care if war kills him or not.
Also, something that I mentioned in our DMs is on page 7. For some reason, in the English release, you see the head fall, you see Asa, and then you see Yor, right?
Oh yeah, and it's
In the Japanese version, for some reason, the panel of Asa's face is gone, and it's Denji's ripcord being pulled. So, like, when you turn the page in the English version, he's just Chainsaw Man for some reason. But in the Japanese version, it's because you literally explicitly see he got his ripcord pulled.
that is weird. I wonder why they changed that.
I have no clue. Really random.
I mean, I assumed like all the Chainsaw Man, gut scarf was like he was turning anyway. But it does feel weird to omit the cord.
Hmm.
And then I don't
Such
know,
a
they're
random
they're
decision
they're introducing a bunch of other characters, and they're like, it's time to take
that are
on
gonna get
Chainsaw.
gibbed.
They're either gonna win, which is gonna feel stupid because like, can anything for once go right, or they're gonna get insta-gibbed by Super Chainsaw Man, which is what I
Yeah.
expect to happen. But I feel like either conclusion is disinteresting. Also, I like how that one guy's design is just a crocodile half of his head. Just half his head is just a crocodile. And I don't mean
Yeah.
that he has like half of a crocodile's face on half his face. I mean that half of his face is the whole head of a crocodile,
That's
which is insane.
that is definitely some Fujimoto shit.
Yeah, Fujimoto sure do be doing things.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like the next chapter is just going to be, hey, remember how badass Super Chainsaw Man is? And he's just going to rip these dudes to fucking pieces.
Yeah, I'm really not that invested, man, in part two, and I haven't been for ever, actually.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like it has the magic that Part One had. Some The spark
Yeah.
is gone, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right. How about Ultimate Exorcist, the new manga?
It was kind of funny. It's losing the funny.
Yeah,
I'm
I did not hate it. I thought the bait and switch in chapter one with the protagonist was pretty funny from what the marketing was.
I like the concept. I think it's really funny that
Mm.
I don't know if you've seen any Twitter discourse around this series at all.
Like
Um,
there is.
a little bit. Um, is they showed the cover picture of the main character doing like the cross arms with the crosses on them
Yeah.
and shit, and they're like, I'm so sick of all these fucking edgelord manga in Shonen Jump
Then you
now
crack
because
it
of
open.
Kagurabachi and their edgelord. It's like,
Kagurabot?
yeah, well, because again, a bunch of people didn't read past the fucking panel where he's like, I want to wake up with fresh evil in my blood.
Bro, he gets a daughter by chapter three.
Yeah, in chapter three, he has a daughter that he brings hamburgers to. It's not that serious, but it's super funny to see this series get called an edgelord series when it's literally like the
It's
goofy.
another yeah, it's
It's
another chapter or no, sorry, another series they haven't cracked open at all.
Yeah, that they haven't read at all. I still like it. I think it's pretty cute. I thought the bits
Yeah.
where the where him and that demon dad were just talking.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
the demon guy was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do demon stuff. You're pretty chill.
I
We're
think I'm
we're
done being a
cool.
terrorist.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be anymore. Um, and then I like the teaching him to just breathe actually helped. I thought that was
Yeah.
a neat little thing too. And then the most recent chapter was okay. I don't know how this chapter or not this chapter this series is going to transition into when he has to actually fight someone he can't instantly kill,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
every fight he's ever had has just been like he shows up and he absolutely murders the shit out of the dude.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know if they're gonna even try, because it's one of those series that rides that weird line between like gag manga and there's actual combat and like a
Mhm.
hierarchy power system in the world and stuff. Um,
Mhm.
so it almost kind of like I feel like Yozakura Family did that in the beginning too, where it was kind of almost constant just silliness and then it ended up turning into something. Whether this will
Yeah.
try to do that too, I don't know. But I enjoy it so far. Of the 85
Yeah.
Exorcist manga that have come out recently, it's up there. It's one of my preferred ones.
Yeah, it's really not bad. Uh, like I said, I thought the bait switch was funny. I like that it's more of a goofy manga rather than like a hardcore, serious, deep, dark Exorcist series.
Yeah,
It's
where there's
definitely
like horrible demon
yeah.
monsters or like it's yeah. And
It's
the demon
obviously a
designs are like
very
neat but also silly. They're like very silly, but like, it almost kind of reminds me of like One Piece art. I don't know if that's
yeah,
intentional.
same. I haven't read
Uh,
One Piece though, so I wasn't gonna say it, but like I see a lot of these things. I'm like, this looks like One Piece. So
yeah, and I don't know if this is like a former assistant of his or not. I don't know anything about the production of One Piece, but it looks very much like his art style.
yeah, very clearly an intentional spin on what people expect from an Exorcist manga. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And I think
I looked up the mangaka's name, and it came up saying he's a Japanese politician who has served as a member of the House of Councilors of Japan since 2022. I
wow.
assume it's not the same guy. I assume it's not the same guy, but there's apparently no fucking article on the other guy aside from just stuff about. He is best known for being the author and artist of Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi. Okay, well it's got 4 chapters, so clearly he ain't fucking known for anything else. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Probably just the One Piece fan,
Yeah, might just
like many
maybe
people.
just grew up trying that art style himself. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's about it. I think that's everything.
Is that everybody? I think so.
Yeah.
Nothing crossing my brain because we dropped the shit out of Astro Royale. Thank God.
Thank God, the
Thank the
West is
Lord.
saved.
Yeah, the West is recovered. Uh, all right. Well then, I guess we'll put a pin in another episode of Shonen and Chill. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will
I
see you in the next
guess.
one.
I guess next episode's gonna be kind of a fucking big deal, huh?
Yeah, I guess it's gonna there's gonna be much discourse to be
Well,
had. That's for sure.
actually, now that I look at the calendar, technically, our recording date would be not. We would record on the week of the 28th. Do you want to just save it for the MHA finale?
For the yeah, let's do that. That makes
All
sense.
right.
Because then the people would wait a week for the finale episode, which
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, let's just save it. Okay, well then we'll see you guys in the MHA finale episode. Oh my
Next time
God.
you see us, we'll be done bitching about MHA, guys.
Yeah, well no, we'll have that one, and then afterward we'll be
Yeah, but like
done.
that'll be the finale.
Yeah, that'll be the end of the bitching about MHA.
It's a big day for a lot of you guys. It'll be some of the best day of some of you guys' lives.
Yeah, everything's looking up. Everything's looking up. All right, y'all. We will see you then.